Byron in Colorado. Hello, Byron.
Good morning, Glenn. I just think that we need to, the only way that we're going to be able to heal is if all the evidence gets out to the people. It has to be transparent, or else they're not going to trust anybody. The people are not going to trust anybody in the administration. They have to release all the evidence.
What if they came out and said, we have released all of the evidence?
No, they're still not going to believe them because there's still stuff that they told us they haven't released. So that's the problem. They have to be transparent. If they're not transparent, nobody's going to believe them here on out. Nobody's going to believe them.
I happen to agree with you, Byron. Thank you so much. I have to tell you, I think it would be different for me if Donald Trump came out and said, look, we're releasing everything except we've taken out all of the names, but we're releasing absolutely everything we have. We just want to make sure that we're protecting all of the victims. Just release it. And there's nothing to see here, gang. There is nothing. And I understand your feeling. The attack that is being levied on really the supporters of Donald Trump is confusing to me. It only makes it worse because Donald Trump knows his audience. He knows us. I've never seen anybody intuit a group of people better than Donald Trump. And this is so unlike Donald Trump saying, nobody cares about this. Nobody's talking about it. President Trump, everybody's talking about this. You were talking about this. You told us how important it was. And I understand that maybe there might not be any evidence. Okay. But the way this is being handled is just making things worse. Just making things worse. And we have to have a resolution of this. You can't just say to your supporters, you people are all out of control. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're just asking you, and you don't see how badly this has been bungled? Let's just say there is nothing. Pam Bondi comes out and says, it's sitting on my desk. Was it or not? Was that a lie or not? It's sitting on my desk. Okay. Then the next day, well, I can't because they're hiding things, the FBI. Was that a lie? I have everything. We're just going through it. Then there is nothing. Which one is it? Which one is it? I just want somebody to recognize you're not crazy. You know what I mean? And this is the first time I've felt like my own side was calling me crazy. I don't know what to believe on any of it. I don't have a horse in this except for the truth and restoring trust. That's all I want. That's all I want. I just want the truth so I can have trust in members of my government. That's it. Because if we don't restore the trust, we've got nothing. So my only horse in this race is just, look, if you made mistakes, great. If there was never any evidence, great. But please recognize that we're not crazy for reading it the way we've been reading it. You may have all the answers. That's not good enough for us. It's not good enough. Let me go to Christy in Texas. Hello, Christy.
Hi.
Hey.
Well, I think as Christians who believe in a higher power and a higher law, we have to ask ourselves how we personally come at this. I don't know if you remember all the screaming that was done about moving the embassy to Jerusalem, and how none of that panned out.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of this is just spiritual warfare. I did listen to Scott Adams' take on this, which is very persuasive, and I'm where you are in what I don't know what to think.
What was his take? I missed Scott's.
It was that we have a Democratic representative government, and that we elected him to make these difficult decisions based on information that we cannot have. So we need to trust him.
I agree with that. To some degree, you are our elected representative, and I've given him the benefit of the doubt on so much. Because of that, we elected him. That is his job. However, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying. If you want the trust because you can't know it because there are certain things in there for national security, that's different than what is being said. Am I wrong, Jason? I mean, that is, then you come out and say that. Look, there are some things that can't be revealed at this time due to national security. I can't give you any more than that. You're just going to have to trust me on that. Okay, that's different than saying, what's wrong with you people? Why aren't you just satisfied by me saying there's nothing there? Well, because you didn't say it at first. It wasn't you. My problem really isn't with you. My problem is with Pam Bondi. My problem is really with the FBI and Pam Bondi. Who bungled this? I think it's Pam, but who bungled this? And if you can't at least admit the PR rollout of this is leading to all of this stuff. It's leading to that. And I think it just needs to be vetted and solved one way or another. And you're not going to do it by telling people, shut up and sit down. Isn't that what the left has done to us forever? Shut up and sit down. Nothing to see here. I don't want to believe this about our government. I don't want to believe that they're making excuses knowingly for people who are abusing girls. I don't want to believe that. So help me not believe it. Help me. We go to Travis in South Dakota. Hello, Travis.
Hi, Glenn. Hi, Jason. I tell you what, guys, I feel really betrayed, and I feel really, really angry. We have a president who tells us to move on from Epstein because it doesn't matter. Are you guys still talking about this? Seriously? And yet he still talks about the 2020 election fraud. He talks about the Hunter Biden laptop. He talks about all this stuff from 5-6 years ago, and he tells us to move on from the Epstein trial or the Epstein case. People like me will not stop talking about this. I feel so betrayed and so angry. This is not what I voted for. If we do not stand up for the children of this country, we have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. And I tell you what, I've also lost a lot of respect for a lot of people that are prominent figures in this country because they are saying, you know what, this doesn't matter. Like Carrie Lake came out on Saturday. She's like, you know what really matters is election fraud and post-election fraud. It's like, you know what, the children of this country really, really matter. How can we just sweep them under the rug and not care? Move on, America. Move on.
Travis, thank you for calling. Let me ask you, is there anything that could be said that would make you go, okay, that's as good as it's going to get for here?
I want transparency and I want justice. All them children, all those families, everything they went through, I don't want to know their names. I pray that God would be with them and give them some sort of peace if they could ever get it. I want transparency and I want justice.
Is there anything that anyone could produce to show you and have you go, okay, Epstein is dead, Gladwell is in prison, and that's the only justice you're going to be able to get?
I want evidence. Quit telling us that, he killed himself and we saw everything. We have the information. By the way, it doesn't exist. Show us the information. Make me believe. Help me believe that he killed himself. Help me believe that maybe you don't have any evidence against people. Then show us that stuff. I do not trust the government at all, and yet they expect me to take their word for it. I'm sorry, you lost your credibility a long time ago, government. You need to start gaining the trust of these American people back. And I really hope and pray that they can at least provide some sort of evidence.
How do you prove the negative, Travis? See, that's where I'm at. I think I'm right where you are. I don't. I'm beyond. I don't have a horse in this race. What I have is common sense. And what I have is maybe a bunch of people hyping this up for a very long time, but then I need somebody to say, hey, these people were hyping this for this reason, and here, let me show you how that was done. I want to believe. I want to believe in the good. So help me, but I don't know how you prove a negative. How do you prove there is no evidence?
I absolutely agree. If all these people like me are all upset about this Epstein client list and it's all been for naught all these years, then help me believe that, you know what, you've been wrong this entire time, and actually there's some really good things out there. And if it's the opposite, show us that evidence too. Right now, all we have to go on is the word and trust of the United States government, and they don't tell us anything. So this is what we found, and the documents we're going to give you are going to be, mostly redacted, but the information's there. We just can't show it to you. You got to help us out a little bit. There's a lot of good in this country, but you got to help us out a little bit.
Travis, I don't think anyone could have said it better than that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let me go to Aaron in Texas. Hello, Aaron.
How's it going, Glenn? Great
Good.
to talk to you.
Thank you.
Oh, man. This is frustrating, For me, I can't see a world in which where these documents and this evidence doesn't exist still. The main reason being it's such an amazing weapon against anyone you detest. Mm-hmm. I guess it's this package of goods that could be weaponized for good, for evil, for whatever. And in my head, being a high information voter and really paying attention, I listen to a lot of things, I consume a lot of things, a lot of difference in opinion. And I think this information is being used to further the Trump agenda, and that if this information does exist, which is my true belief that this information does exist, is that essentially if Trump releases it in the beginning of his administration, he loses a point of leverage, and that a lot of this stuff is going to roll out near the second half at the end of his administration where it's no longer useful to him and it could be exposed, and he seems to be the good guy at the end of it all, and all the chaos and insanity and everything. Everyone feels satisfied in the end, and he gets to use it as a tool because Trump, being the pragmatist that he is, why would he essentially disarm himself when he has this tremendous position of leverage? Essentially, it's like, this is my tool bag. This is what I started with. Why would I surrender my best set of tools to further my agenda, which I believe is of the utmost importance, and not just get rid of it at the very end of the administration and cement my legacy that way?
So I hope you're not right, Aaron, because that goes to the ends justify the means, and I don't like that at all. So I hope you're not right. I do feel like any of this kind of speculation is kind of like, you know what Chief Justice Roberts is doing with the Obamacare ruling. He's got a plan. No, he really didn't. He just screwed it up. He just did what he wanted to do, or what someone leaned on him to do. Again, I don't know the truth there. I hope that's not true, but I could see that happening. It's somebody. We're gathering all kinds of information on everybody. It's way beyond what you think it is. The NSA is just gathering information nonstop on all of us, and it's only going to get worse. And I said to somebody, I don't even remember who it was at this point, but I was talking to somebody offline, and I said, how do we stop this? We got to stop this. How about if we elect, Donald Trump? And he said to me, Glenn, no president is going to say no to this. No president. Because all of the other countries have all of this information on every American. Okay, England, everybody, they're gathering all of it because they can. So they're gathering all this information. And you think the president is going to say, no, the information that other countries have on our people, I shouldn't have as well? I don't think so. Because there's too much power to be had. I hope that's not the case. But who knows at this point?
This is Glenn Beck.